Guys, thanks for coming out. We had a beautiful day, and I'm glad to say that we got through it with no significant injuries. So that's a great thing. You want to get through the spring game that way. It was a great day for our fans and for the players and their families. And it concludes what I thought was really an excellent spring practice. 14 practices, and then this spring game. You know, with the exception of Dallas's injury, you really couldn't ask for more as far as the spring. You know, spring's a little different. You go a day, you're off a day. You go a day, you're off a day. But I think we made significant improvement, which is critical. Fundamentally, we made significant improvement, and I think we grew a little bit with our confidence. You know, confidence is nothing more than truly believing you're prepared to do things, and I think the players are starting to feel more and more prepared and comfortable in what they're doing, and that'll have to continue throughout this summer and then pick up when we get to training camp. So I'll try to answer your questions the best I can.
Greg, when you look at the offensive line development throughout this spring, can you put where you were maybe heading into the spring to where you are now?
We made significant improvement, I think, because of cumulative repetitions at a certain limited number of run plays. I think we're playing to the strength of what our offensive line can do. Pass protection, we've improved. We still have a long way to go, but we've improved. Again, if we could have made it through without Dallas getting injured, you know, when Dez got injured, I was fearful that was going to be a surgery and a miss the season. When it wasn't, that was a blessing. A couple days later, a couple practices later, rather, we lose Dallas, which is significant. But you know, like I said that day, it's an opportunity for us to all learn how to deal with adversity, and I truly believe someone, and that someone right now is David Osei, will rise up there. And now it takes away a little of the flexibility we had with David going at some other spots, but that's the way it is.
Craig, you like so much competition at positions this year, this spring. Chase didn't really have any. Did that hurt him, or do you think that may have helped him getting as many reps as he did, or do you know?
Well, I think the repetitions, without a doubt, are going to pay. And I don't know if it helped him that much now because we kept putting in more and more throughout the spring. We believe in what we call whole part, whole teaching. So we wanted to throw the whole thing at him, and we did. Now, this summer, they're just going to break it down on their own and do piece by piece. And, you know, we don't want to, you know, the old saying is, you know, we're going to pick up right where we left off. We can't afford to pick up where we left off. We need to pick up further advanced than when we left off. So that's going to be wholly on their commitment as a team, offensively, defensively, in the kicking game, to improve this summer. And we will give them all the resources they need to do that, but then it's a decision on their part to do it, and I'm very confident they will.
So how did the lack of competition impact Chase, either positively or negatively?
I don't think it had you know, Chase is, when he was in competition last season, and now Chase's his competition is a pursuit of excellence. This kid is a guy that wants to be great. So I don't think that, you know, there's some guys that competition is without a doubt necessary. You know, human nature sometimes gets to some of them. Chase isn't one of those guys. He's hard on himself. He's a perfectionist. You know, I know in all the learning of the offense, a few of the balls he really got aggravated when his accuracy wasn't. You know, one of the things Chase is he's like extremely accurate, and some of the balls floated on him this spring, and I know it just drove him nuts. But again, there were different things that he was reading out and seeing that, you know, was different in his terminology and things that he looked at. So I'm confident this summer is going to be critical, as it is every summer, but probably more so than any summer we've had.
Right, you have a pecking order at running back, and
you know, those three guys all bring different talents to the table. So to say there's a pecking order, I think they all did very well. You know, we're so much further ahead today than we were 15 practices ago with the emergence of Juwan Jameson, who was, I think, a legitimate Division I back. Now he's got to get in better shape. He's got to get more discipline with some things, but he has what you can't teach. And then DeAntoine really, you know, obviously recognized with the award, Most Improved Offensive Player, but really I think DeAntoine's taken leaps and bounds, jumped leaps and bounds. And then, you know, when you look at the position as a whole, and you have a guy like Jeremy Deering who can come in and do so many things, I'm excited about the flexibility you have there, and that's not even talking about the two running backs that are coming in as freshmen. So maybe something that we went into the spring as a real doubt or question mark, I feel much better about leaving the spring.
What did you see out of your defense speed-wise?
Well, I think some of the things we did helped us, you know, and this is obviously not today, I didn't watch very little today, but over the course of the spring, you know, you look at a guy like Kasim Green, you know, that's the way we need that position to run. And he will make a lot of plays. Steve Boharnis, again, a guy that can make a lot of plays. David Rowe, moving him from corner to safety, he was kind of always fighting the battle of being fast enough to play a corner. Yet with his athleticism, I think at safety will be very productive. So I think some of those things, you know, we're young in the defensive front, and we got to get grown up in a hurry. You know, Scott Malone is the stalwart there, and then you have Jay Fran, who's played a lot of football but hasn't been a starter. You know, he's got to step up and play like a starter. And then we have the youngsters that got to get tougher. They got to get more disciplined. They got to get more consistent. And again, this summer will be huge. And I'm going to put a great deal of trust in Scott Malone, you know, to lead that group as a junior. He and Jay Fran got to lead that group and really make sure that they come back well ahead of where they are now, technique-wise and understanding-wise.
Greg, how would you assess the progress of just the shift of identity in the offense from one player to another?
Well, it's quite different. I mean, you just look at what we're doing. You know, today's not a great indicator, but over the course of the spring, the things we did schematically, it's the things that I believe in that I want to see done. And you know, we brought the right guy here to do it in Frank Signetti. I think our staff did an excellent job of implementing the plan, and now we have to rep it. And we got it all in. Now we have to rep it this summer. And again, that's on the kids. You know, that's one of the neat things about summer. I always say, your football team really gains its identity in the summertime because the coaches aren't there. And if there's going to be leadership, it's going to really emerge then. You know, our strength and conditioning coaches put them through the paces as far as lifting and running, but when the balls come out, they got to leave. So when we're playing football and we're in these meeting rooms on their own, talking football, the leadership has to take over.
Does that still come down to, though, getting that line back to where you need to be?
Well, some of it does. Yeah, some of it does in running the football and backs seeing the holes the right way, and then quarterbacks getting rid of the ball on time. You know, if it's not there, 1, 2, 3, and run, or 1, 2, 3, and throw it away. You know, so those things, and I think schematically will help that, and then I think a year of maturity will help that as well, a year of experience.
What Greg, could you talk about Brandon Coleman a little bit? Yeah, you were saying he was one of the young guys you were eager to see today on the big stage or the semi-big stage.
Well, again, I didn't see it. I've got scuttlebutt from the guys that he made a couple catches and, you know, in front of a crowd. I mean, that's more people than he's ever played in front of, so that's a good step, right? And then opening game next year, and it's going to be a bigger crowd. And Brandon Coleman's got all the skills to be a great wide receiver, but you still got to go through and do it. And, you know, when you're young and you're learning the position and you're getting it, I have all the confidence in the world he will. He's got all the ability to do it, but there's still that knowing and doing, connecting those two. And I think he will, but he's got work ahead of him. And you talk about a position that has some depth. I mean, receiver would probably be the deepest position on our team. So there'll be great competition, and those guys are a close group. PJ Fleck does a great job with the receivers, and they're a very tight-knit group. They're going to help each other a ton this summer.
So what with the receiver position, are you worried about the log jam there and trying to fit everybody in, trying to find a niche for everybody? How are you going to handle that?
I'm going to handle it. The best two are going to play if we're playing two, and then the best three are going to play if we're playing three. Yeah, we'll figure that out. That'll be good stuff.
Did you hear Pernetti made some catches on the
I did. I heard Pernetti. I actually got the number. I heard there was a controversy on the game winner. We're going to go to the videotape and make some decisions.
When does your contact end with the players? Is it at the end of classes?
Well, it doesn't ever end. We're just not allowed to talk football.
Right. But when does that officially end?
Well, we won't do any football now. They're in the thick of getting ready for final exams and finishing their papers. So we'll have a wrap-up team meeting tomorrow or Monday morning, and then the guys will pretty much be getting out of town as they finish their finals. But as far as staying in contact with them, our coaches do a great job. They'll be in contact with them throughout the break.
Coach, you talked about Jameson having some things that you can't teach. Can you just touch on what those may be?
Sure. He's got great vision, instincts, and when you're a runner, you can tell him where the play's supposed to develop. But as the play changes, can you feel it and stick a foot in the ground and get vertical right away? He can do that. Now, will he do it in a game? Again, that's the thing you don't know. Do you get a little bit tight and not see what you see in practice? I hope not. I hope he can do that in the game because, like I said, I think all three of those guys bring something different to the table.
What are your thoughts on sort of the development of the fullback position throughout this spring as an offensive weapon?
Yeah, it's been interesting. because this offense, you need a fullback to do a lot of different things. Again, without Joe, one of the position changes we made was Joe Martinek moving to fullback. I think he'll be really good at it, but until he does it, we won't know, right? So that'll be huge in training camp. I think Mike Burton did some nice things. Again, will he be able to do it consistently? Will he be able to do it at the level of toughness required? We'll see. Mike was a high school tailback, but I think he's got a chance. Marcus Thompson, if we leave him at that position, will he be able to do the things we need him to do? He certainly has done it at times. Again, so we have some things up in the air at the position. Robert Joseph is another guy who's talented, coming off 2 knee surgeries. So, now that he's gone 15 straight practices, can he put together a great summer and then come back? What we will have is an undecided fullback position with, I think, 4 or 5 guys that are capable, and who will seize the opportunity. That'll be what we'll find out in training camp.
What's it going to take for someone to seize that opportunity? What do you need to see out of those fullbacks in this pro-style offense that's going to separate someone? In
our run game, you need to be able to have both the ability and the want to go block somebody, but you also have to have the vision to be able to feel the plays, because some of the plays our fullback needs to feel and block certain people. A little different than just a battering ram in an ISO lead offense. But he does need to be able to do that too. He needs to be able to catch the football in the flat. We've made a living doing that around here with some very good fullbacks. So it's not a position that isn't multi-talented, that's for sure. And I think we have some guys that can do all those things. Do we have it in one person? I don't know that yet. We'll have to figure that out. We may take 2 people to get the job done.
What were your thoughts on sort of just the atmosphere the whole day and adding the Believe Bowl and getting all the NFL guys back here?
I thought it was awesome. I really, it starts with a great day, and then to have all our guys come back. We have 11. This is year 11, so we have 10 years worth of guys, plus some guys before we were even here, coming back for the game, and to see that sideline packed. And it's not just the 24 NFL guys we have; it's all the guys who came back and played in that game. To see Val Barnaby walking out of the building with a longtime fan who had been sick, and, on his deathbed, he came back. That's the kind of kid Val Barnaby is. He remembers that fan and that they were sick, and really cares about people. Those are the kind of people, great guys we've had come through this program, and to see them all on the sideline, I'd be lying if I didn't tell you, it really feels good, and it is a living, breathing testament to the family that we do have here, at Rutgers and at Rutgers football. So it was good. That was really good.
All the things that happened this spring, as you go into this break, what do you feel best about this team?
Their attitude. I think they believe what's going to happen. Don't ask what it is. I'm not going to answer.
For Loud in the middle, how did he develop? What did you see out of him?
I think he developed. I think he improved quite a bit actually this spring. I think he did it not only this spring, but in the off season. He made significant gains in the strength and conditioning area, and then he also played better on the field. I think we really got to study that linebacker mix and find out how we're going to best position the 6 guys that will count as the 2 deep. But I'm not sure we'll be able to do that until we're well into training camp. We got some guys coming back off injuries that have not had the opportunity to practice. So we'll try to forecast the best we can, and then after probably scrimmage 1, or maybe that week after scrimmage 1, we'll kind of try to lock in some guys if we can. I think we have some players there. Just making sure they're in the right spot. I think Kasim, like I said, has been a big addition.
Who else will work at center over the summer? Who do you want to do it?
Well, Caleb will definitely work. David will work with the ones. Caleb will definitely work. Art's going to work some. Probably those 3. Down the road guys, Frank will do some. So we'll have 4 or 5 guys working it, but those 3 probably be the top 3 for consideration.
Greg, the cornerback position.
Yeah.
How did that play out throughout the spring?
Good. There was a couple of ebbs and flows there throughout the spring where I thought we were going to have one of those corners just take it and run with it, and then they kind of pulled back to the pack. And I wish one would have just taken the job and seized it. So we're going to have great competition there. I think some of the young guys, like the Grief Glashans and the Jonathan Akins, with a summer more under their belt, will have a better understanding when we hit training camp, which will be critical. Because physically they can do it, it's just mentally being able to know what to do. I thought really, really excited about Mason Robinson there. I think he will help us, he will help us in whatever role it is, whether it's starting first and second down at the corner or playing a third down sub package. He is a very, very good cover guy. So we have some depth there and some guys we can move around, but really looking for those two guys to grab it. But we did have consistent, I thought, very solid corner play. What I'm looking for is somebody to go out there and really be spectacular at the position.
Coach, talk about a couple of the young safeties that made some plays today. Lorenzo had some nice hits. Rashad Knight had the pick. How did they develop this spring?
I think well. I think Lorenzo, two redshirt guys we're talking about. Lorenzo had played the position all the way through since he came. We moved Rashad. Rashad played corner on the scout team. We moved him. I think he's a natural safety. I think he'll be very good. I think Duran played as well or better than I thought he would. So that's good. We have some young safeties that I think will be around here for a good amount of time that can really play. I think the guy who really jumps out at you, though, as being a natural is David. And his leadership will be critical over the summer with all those young safeties, he and Duran.
I know you didn't put all the work into the kicking game this spring, but what did you see out of the kicking game and where is that?
I'm really encouraged by the punt team in the last 4 or 5 practices. Now, I was really discouraged, in the first 8 or so. I kept waiting for it to come, and it just didn't. But patience paid off, and I think we protected better. We punted the ball much better. And will Anthony be the guy? I don't know. We'll figure that all out when we get to training camp. But I thought the last 4 practices he punted like a Division I punter, which you got a crazy man screaming in your ear every time you take the snap. Maybe that helped. I don't know, but we'll see. I think we improved there. PAT field goal will be fine. Sansan will have a good year. Sansan will kick the ball well. We'll protect it well. I got aggravated the other day because there's no excuse for that. We do it every day. But we'll be good on that team. And I think Sansan's made an increased, if that's the right word, commitment since January to really be a master of his craft. Which, if you're a kicker or a punter, you need to make a total commitment to that, because that is a craft. That's a specialty skill. And I think he'll continue to do that this spring or this summer and really be ready to have a big year. We need to have a great year from both our punter and our kicker, and I think our kicker's in position to do it. I think our punter we're going to have to see.
But even if there are growing pains with this offense, how much more comfortable are you just seeing this style and playing this way?
No, that's what I like. And maybe that's human nature, right? You feel better when it's what you like. But I do believe in it. I believe it fits our team, the whole formula for our football team. We're a tough blue-collar group of guys, and our identity, chop it. That's what you do. You keep pounding away, and it may be a 2-yard run, it may be a 1-yard run, and then you pop a 12-yard run. And then it might be a play-action pass, and you throw it down the field to one of those big receivers. That's who we are, and I feel much more comfortable with how we're doing things now. And I got no one to blame but myself. I'm the one who changed it and made a mistake and changed it back.
Any other questions?
Okay, guys, have a great summer.